Sunday in Milan. Some enjoy the town centre, others retreat to the city's parks. Everywhere, people soak up the sunshine and relax. Well, not quite everyone. This is speed climbing, one of 3 specialty events on the Sport Climbing World Cup circuit.
We also have 2 other disciplines of climbing that we have a World Cup circuit. One of them is bouldering, and then we've got the Lead World Cup.
Sport climbing has only had an international federation for 4 years, but today it has 76 member countries which provide hundreds of wiry wall monkeys, all competing in arenas easily accessible to the general public.
A lot of the World Cups get around 3,000–5,000. Some of them, the best attended one is probably in Chamonix in France, and they estimate 15–20,000 per day there.
There are now 20 World Cup events stretching from Europe to China, North America to the Middle East. Event funding is provided by local organisers, who in this case had to come up with around €200,000. Of course, the World Cup circuit represents the sharp end of a sport that continues to thrive in a non-competitive sphere. Pop down to this former pumping station in North London on a typical weeknight, and such is the activity, it seems as if the walls themselves are moving.
During our peak periods, we can expect about 420 to 450 visits per day.
At 10 a.m. across town in West London, things are rather more sedate. But over a year, the earning power of both establishments is impressive.
We're very busy on weeknights. You'll generally come in here and probably find 200 to 300 people. And this wall generates £1 million plus in income.
Our turnover is about 1.4 million. And that includes the climbing shop and the climbing wall and the cafe.
But before you rush out and build a climbing wall and muffin stand in your backyard, it's worth considering that insurance payments are high. Walls do need to be maintained to a safe standard, and remember, a static route gathers no customers.
The customers demand varying routes constantly, so but every 6 weeks we have to change all the routes.
Our route setters are experienced climbers, have climbed all over the world, and they come here and they try to recreate moves that they've experienced climbing outside.
We have about 4 to 5 routes per wall, so about 400 routes. We change about 80 to 90 routes per month.
Look around and you won't see any speed climbing going on. There's only one official wall in the entire UK. And in fact, the discipline is dominated by Eastern Europeans and Russians. Because while it's only just taking off in Western Europe, the first speed climbing competitions were held in the former Soviet Union in the 40s.
Well, that wall looks flat, but in fact it's angled backwards, so it hangs over the climbers, making things even more difficult. And at all but one of the World Cup events, the course is exactly the same. And if you think you can cover 15 metres in less than 6.2 seconds, well, you should give this sport a go, because that is the world record.
You need a dynamic power in your arms and in your legs, and also you have to have strong fingers.
As a climber, covering the World Cup circuit requires dedication and money, in a sport which doesn't exactly churn out millionaires.
There's a few handfuls of people are serious sponsored climbers.
In terms of exposure, at this particular event, the state television broadcaster covered the finals live, but that's something of a rarity.
At the moment, the main way that we're getting our publicity is through webcasting.
So, as with many sports, the authorities see one key way to raise climbing's profile.
The IFSC's goal is to get to the Olympics. We hopefully will be on the shortlist in 2013 for the 2020 Games.
Attention!
It's the easiest to follow because it's literally the starting gun goes off, 2 climbers race up the wall, and whoever gets to the top first wins.
Like climbers' chalk, it can be gripping stuff. From the falls to the silent pre-race pantomimes.
They are mapping the route in their head. You have to do it like when you are blind.
The most important is here, inside.
Although incredible agility, problem-solving abilities and explosive strength are also rather useful if you wish to succeed in a sport not hanging around as it attempts to scale heights it's never reached before.